So in this video I want to share with you a really useful platform that you can use to organize your literature review, to organize your literature, to organize your notes, or any other project, any other assignment, anything that involves reflections, sorting, organizing, note making. You'll see that I use it for a variety of projects, not just academic ones, but since this is a video about literature review, it's definitely going to help you with your literature review. So first I'll go through this platform very quickly. I'll show you what I've been using this platform for and explain how you can use it for a literature review, because I honestly believe this is an amazing tool for that purpose. So the tool is called Scrintal. You can see it on my screen now. What we're looking at is a board. You can think of it as a whiteboard with all my ideas and brainstorming and everything related to a project that I was doing. I'm still doing. It's my side business, side project that involves selling spices. A lot of learning. I've never done that before. Needless to say, so lots of things that I had to learn about selling spices, and this is why Scrintal is so useful. It's a very visual tool which I absolutely love. I'm a visual learner, and it's based on, let me just zoom in, it's based on these so-called cards. So you create these cards. You can put anything into a card. You can put text, you can embed, this is a really good thing, embed a YouTube video directly into a card, as you can see here. Let me just open a card and you can play it directly from Scrintal. You can comment on the video, so important points in the video, for example, under the video. You can embed a PDF, which is something we'll use for literature review. You can just write, you can insert links, anything you want. So just to show you, let me create a card, test card, and then you can just add anything you want here. You can see images, PDFs, all kinds of stuff. It's really, really useful. It can just be a reflection. And then an important thing that we'll do, and we'll do that for literature review, you can create tags. It's just, I created a tag called tag. You can create tags and then explore these tags. So this is, remember this one, and then you can change the color just to make it even more visual and interesting, and then you can link it to any other card. So it's really, really simple, and this is also why I love it so much. It's really simple. I actually collaborated with Scrintal, with this company at some point. They really took some of my feedback on board as well, which I always like to see. When people do, user research, they ask the future users to make it even better and more user-friendly. And it's literally made for people like me, for example, for visual learners. You can put any stuff on these boards. There is plenty of space. You can see I can zoom out, and actually here I created this section to be for Amazon, and eventually added this, just started to create this new section for Etsy, and I'm gonna put a whole bunch of stuff here as well. It may look a little bit messy, but that's just my working style, and it actually makes sense to me, which is obviously the most important thing. I have a to-do list in the middle. I just update it every now and then. I link all kinds of stuff. Like you see, I found stuff about heat sealing, and I have an Amazon, a YouTube link here, and then I linked it to an Amazon link where I found heat sealers. So it's just everything. Everything is here, and you don't have to use 1 million different text files with different links and then go to different websites. It's all here, and this is why I love it. I hope you can imagine already how it's useful for all sorts of projects, but now I'll specifically talk about using this for literature review. As I said, I collaborated with Scrintal in the past, and they kindly provided me with a special discount for my viewers. It's a 20% off their personal pro, I believe, plan, which is one of their plans. It's valid for 8 weeks from the publication of this video. I'll put the date on the screen. So if you go to their registration page and use the special code Dr. K20, or just click on the link under the video, that will also take you to the page where the code has been applied. So you get a discount. It's 20% off, and I think it's worth it. So now let's explore how you can use it for a literature review, how you can use this tool. I did mention boards, I think I did. different boards. So we have different boards, basically different whiteboards for different projects. You can see Highlander Herbs is obviously the herb and spice business. I have a board, a little tiny board for one of the jobs I'm doing at the moment. And you can create any number of boards. So let's add a new board. It's a literature review board. It's I need to change the name if I want to call it literature review. And it's empty. Of course, it's empty. So how can we use it for our literature review? I have a video about doing literature review quickly, in which I explained how I organized my reading in Microsoft Word files. So basically using different files for different articles, and then making notes and all kinds of things. And this system is really good, and I still believe it's really good, but it's so much better with using platforms such as this one. So let's just create, for example, a new card. It's going to be for our article 1, whatever it is. What we'll do now, we'll just add this PDF straight into our card. So we're gonna find a PDF and we'll just embed it into this card. I have some example literature here, so it's about identity. So we're just gonna embed it straight into this card. Like I said, it's preparing at the moment, so I still can't open this PDF, but in a second I'll be able to do it. But the point is, you can start typing. Obviously there's nothing for me to write about at the moment, but making some reflections, some notes about the content. Oh, there it is. So we can open it. You can see I can open it directly from Scrintal, which is good. You can increase the size of it. You can read it. And now look, let's say I'm for some reason finding this interesting. I can just copy and paste it right here. And maybe select and maybe just indicate which page this was at. So this was page 413. And I'll just keep reading. So I'm reading, and let's say, I'm finding something else that for whatever reason is interesting. Again, I'm just gonna copy and paste. This is what I did in my Microsoft Word strategy, where I'm reading and I'm pasting just the relevant quotes. So that's basically the same, except that rather than keeping all these different files for these different articles, I'm just gonna keep these different cards. So let's call it something else. I think it's Norton. Norton is the author. Identity. So that's what I'll call it. This will be my card dedicated to this this particular article. I can also tag it. Like I said, I'll tag it with, let's say, identity. I'll tag it with migration, and let's say that's enough for now. So let's close this this article. Let's close this card. We can zoom in. We can change the color, whatever we want to do. So now, and let's just create another one. So create a new card again. Again, whatever the name, it doesn't really matter. And let's just bring another PDF here. Whatever it is. This is also about identity. So that's another. I'll change the name. This is about non-native and native English speakers identity, if I can remember well. It's about teachers. So again, I can of course do the same. I can open this. I can start reading and copying and pasting, or just making, not necessarily copying and pasting, just making any reflections about this article, and they will be stored here. And then again, I can use tags. So I can start typing. I can already see my tag identity. It's not about migrants, but it's about identity. And then I just move it here. So what happens next, it really depends, whatever, how you want to organize it. I can just create a text saying identity, and I can start just gathering everything, all my cards around this text. I can change the color. Let's see, change the color to green, or I can even change each of these cards colors to green as well. So I can kind of color code it, and remember that everything that has to do with identity will be green. If there are any connections between these articles, I can also do that. I can connect these articles. Remember, we're using tags as well, which is important. I'm not sure. I did connect it. So now, if for example, now I'm bringing in another article, and this time it will be slightly different topic. So this one will be for anxiety. So I have another article, anxiety. I'll create a tag, anxiety. So it can be anything. My tags don't have to be about the general topic. Maybe it's a tag about definitions of anxiety. Definitions, anxiety. Maybe it's it has a good description of methods. So methods, anything. Because when you're working on literature review, I explained in that other video once, you can also pay attention to methods at any given time depending on what you're doing. Maybe at some point I'm just looking at the conclusions sections because I want to know how people write the conclusions. So you can use all kinds of tags. You have to kind of strategically think forward and into the future and decide what it is that you're focusing on. So you can be focusing on these general topics like anxiety or identity, but you can also be at the same time tagging anything else interesting. You can also copy and paste the interesting quotes. So this one is about anxiety. Let's say I can color code it for something else. So everything that I have about anxiety, I'll be always using this color. And you can see if I zoom out, of course, and then you can imagine I keep adding and adding, I'll have a whole bunch of different articles. They can be color coded, they can be connected with these arrows, and all my notes are here. And in addition to that, I've been using tags. So now I'll show you why they are important and how we can use these tags later. So all our tags are stored here on the left. You can access tags and you can see the different tags that I've been creating. So if you open, let's say, identity, if I click on this, here on the left, you can see where these tags have been used. So imagine having dozens and dozens of different articles and plenty of different tags, and you're all confused. So basically it's like coding. It's like coding in Vivo or some other software that you may be using, which is, by the way, also a very good way to organize your literature review. But here you're using tags. So now I can see, okay, all of these have this tag. So let's go to this one. I'll just single click on it, and straight away I gain access to this this particular card where I use it. Here is another one, and here again access to this this card. So you can see how effective this can be, I hope. So let's go back to my board, which is, I believe, this one. Now I'm not sure yet. Literature review, of course. So yeah, so in short, without boring you to death and bringing more and more articles, you can see what I mean. You can organize articles thematically. You can have any kind of organization. You can even just have one, if that's easier for any reason. You can have one card, for example, for anxiety, and just keep uploading PDFs into this one card, and then another card for identity. I personally think it's better to have cards for the different articles, but it's entirely up to you. And then eventually this board will be growing and growing, but then the good thing is, as I said, you can navigate through it really quickly. You can see everything, you can see the colors, you can see the tags. So extremely useful tool for any kind of assignments. So do let me know what you think. Like the video if you learned something new, if you think it may be a good tool. Comment underneath with feedback, any feedback. If you've played around with Scrintal, just let me know how it felt and what you think. Both positive and negative opinions will matter, because like I said, they do really consider user feedback. And share the video if you know somebody who can benefit from using such tool.